Hello, my name is Emma Fawcett and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Newton Abbey, Belfast, Northern Ireland. Thank you so much for joining me today on Emma's Crafty Space. Today I am going to be working with the Pansy Petals Suite and I'm going to be making this little diamond spring pop-up card. So you can see it folds completely flat to fit it inside one of our envelopes, and then on the back of it here there is also a plain white square so that you can write your greeting on there. And I've teamed it up with one of the sheets of the coordinating DSPs in the Pansy Petals Suite, and it's just one of the little gingham size, and it's lovely because it's in the fresh Freesia, which is one of our new in colours. And I've also used the soft succulent and also the dark green, which is one of our in colours, which is the evening evergreen shade, and then we have a little bit of Blackberry Bliss and Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to get started with this and oh, just one other thing I should say is I have also, just bringing the two different ones on here. This one I have tipped with a dauber using Blackberry Bliss, whereas this one I've kept it plain. So it's just another little idea if you want to bring in an extra colour just for a bit more depth. So I'll get my little scoreboard here and I'll go through the measurements that you need. So again, this is the soft succulent card. The card base itself measures 8.5 inches by 4 1/8, or half of one of our A4 sheets cut in half. And then your score lines is at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 3/8. Okay, so that's 2 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 3/8. Okay, then to get the diagonals, I used my trimmer and I went from this corner, put this corner into the valley together with the middle score line. Okay, closed that over and scored down, and then the same with this. I put this corner in the valley to the second score line in the valley, closed that down and scored down again. So that will give you your crisscross there in the middle. The next step you're going to have to do is you are going to burnish your score lines. Okay, so if you can imagine, they're going to go concertina. So the first one goes away, the second one comes towards you like that, and the third one goes away again. Okay, and then we're going to score our cross as well. Now, just while you have it like this, we're just going to put a bit of glue on here and stick it to there, and that is just going to act as a bit of a weight for the base, and it means then that the card should stand or sit properly and not topple over with the weight of the diamond, because it's obviously not stuck down. So we're just going to stick that down like that. So then whenever you have it sitting like this, you're going to bring this up, and the easiest way I can say is push those in like that, and you'll see it'll just automatically go into the shape that you need it to go into. Press those down and just give it a bit of support there. Okay, again, now we are going to put a bit of glue on here, and this is just so that it sticks to the base as well. Okay, now not too much. Okay, and then I always use my bone folder just to make sure that all the glue's to the edges that I need it to go to. There. So if you push these in again, now you can kind of see the shape that it's starting to take shape. Okay, so we're going to build our pansy. I've already got all these cut out and die cut for me just for speed for the camera. I'm sure you don't want to be watching me running through things through the big shop. Okay, so I'm going with the exact same color scheme, and I'm going to lay them out the way they need stuck, so you can see. So that's going to go to that. That will go to that. Now these dies are pretty special in that they cut and emboss, so you can just see like those little bits of details on those petals. That will go there with that over the top. It's just to give you a visual of where everything should go. So that darker piece will go there. Now you'll just maybe make sure that you've picked out all your little pieces, and then your leaf and that's going to go there like that. Okay, so that's our center. So that'll hopefully give you a little idea of where everything needs to go. You can tip them now while they're not attached, but it's entirely up to you. I'm just going to do this one because this one's a little bit harder to do once you have it attached to that piece of basic white. So I'm just doing that one now, and I can tip my other ones in a wee second whenever I get them all glued on. So now we are just going to build our pansies. So I always put glue on my smaller piece first, so then you know where it's going on to the bigger piece. So stick that down. Then again, a little bit of glue here, like that. Okay, just set it to the side. A little bit of glue here. Now these match perfect to the lines that is all cut off the dies, so don't worry about not being able to get them matched up. Once you set them down, you will see exactly where they need to go. There's one. And again, very little glue here. If you're worried about it coming too quick out of your pot, what you could use is a glue mat or a block, and put a little bit of glue on it, and even use a cocktail stick to bring the glue to it rather than the tip of the glue to it, because it is quite hard to control at times. Okay, so just pull that down into place. Don't be scared of it. There's always a little bit of play with cardboard. So I'm just bringing that down. Then our leaves. Like that. So as I say, that's soft succulent with evening evergreen. I think the two really complement each other. So now I am going to tip my fresh Freesia with Blackberry Bliss, and I do think it just makes it give it a bit more depth. Okay. Pansies are so pretty too, and you can really have any combination. And for inspiration, you just really need to go out into your garden and have a look, because I'm sure most people have pansies or violas in their garden. So just go out and use your garden for inspiration. Okay, so bring that down. Okay, so that is that all done. So the next thing we have to do is we have to build our pansy. So I just kind of soften these parts up. It just gives the pansy a bit of life then whenever it is all put together. Okay, could soften it up with a bone folder as well, and just a little bit of glue there, and like kind of cross those over like that, and then a bit of glue across the two. Again, soften that up and then place that. Now because we're using wet glue, then you can kind of tweak it to whatever way you want it to be. Okay, just moving that. Okay, so it needs to come more this way. Okay, then I'm going to put my little Blackberry Bliss center in. Now I want to just show you, whenever you're looking at this, you will see here that there's a little circle, so that kind of gives you an idea of where you need to place this, because you're just going to put that around it like that. Okay, and then the center itself, I find it easier just putting glue down and then trying to set that down on the top of it. That just fits in there nicely. So it's like a little teardrop shape, so just be careful that you have it the right way it needs to be. Okay, so that is our pansy complete. So now I'm going to set that over to the side and just let it dry, and it means then whenever we're going to place it, it will fit. So you can see that this is definitely not the shape of a diamond. So I have this little piece of card, and I'm just going to measure it to give you the measurement. It is 3 inches by 3 inches, and what we're going to do is we're going to lay it down here like that. So glue to this part, don't put it onto the card, the square, because you don't know how low down or how far up you need to put it. Bring this down to it and just get all your edges flush. So just like that. Okay. Now this is one of the stitch shapes that I'm using. Unfortunately, it has been retired, but I'm sure you maybe have them in your crafty stash, or just a white square, normal square, or a scallop square would be nice too. Just setting that down onto there too. Okay. Then I have this little square, and as I said, it is part of the Pansy Petals DSP. It is 1 3/4 square, and I'm going to cut it in half diagonally in the shape of a diamond. So I'm just going to use my wee mini trimmer for this. Okay, and these are going to go either side of the base, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Now you could use one of the more busier papers, but I just like the gingham because I want the pansy itself to be the main focus of this card rather than the paper distracting you from it. So you can see there, I've just stuck it there, and we'll do the same on the other side here. Okay, and just stick it down and give yourself a wee border of the soft succulent all the way around. So with it being wet glue, then obviously you've got that little bit of time to wiggle about with it and play with it. So I'm going to load up my pansy now. I'm going to put mine on with dimensionals. So I'm just going to put dimensionals across that join there, and it's really just to give it a bit of support. Okay. And I'm going to place it here. Okay. And then I have got this little one here, so I'm just going to have a look about with it. So I want it to have a bit of support here as well, so I'm going to put a dimensional on it too. And it's really just, if you look at my original one, which is my prototype, you can see that little boy, he's a bit sad looking there, he's a bit floppy. So I'm just going to make sure that this little bud has a bit of support on the edge of the card. So a little mini dimensional there. I want that dimensional to be covered completely, so I'm putting it in tight to there. And just make sure it's not hanging off the back there. So that is it. So I'm going to stamp my little greeting banner for along the bottom. And again, it's not very big. It is, let me see, 3 1/4 by 1/2 inch. And I'm going to stamp it in the Evening Evergreen colour. And the greeting I'm using is a little hello from me to you, because it's quite generic. So it means then that you can give it for any occasion. Okay. And I'm going to place it down here at the peak on the actual diamond, because I want it to have a bit of movement, but I don't want it to be obstructing the actual pansy, so that's why I'm putting it down at the very, very bottom. So I'm going to put a dimensional there, and then we need to line this up, see where we want it, there, and the last thing I need to do is I need to add my leaves. Now the reason I didn't put my leaves on first is because I didn't want them to be obscured by the greeting. So now I know exactly where they need to go. Okay. I love little 3D cards, especially ones that you can put into a normal envelope, because they just add something different to your sideboard or your mantelpiece whenever they're on display. So you can see now, if I hold that, that's what it'll look like whenever it's sitting up on a mantelpiece or a sideboard. So the last thing is I need to do this square here, and this is for the back for you to write your greeting. It has two functions. It'll hide that join there, as well as you have somewhere to write a greeting on the back of it then. So that is our card complete. Very quick and very easy. I hope I've given you good instructions on how to make this. If you have any comments or any questions, just give me a shout in the comments below. And I really do hope that you've enjoyed this. The Pansy Petals Suite is very involved, but I really do think that it will have the potential to make some really beautiful projects with it. This is another project that I've made with it, with the new little boxes that are available in the annual catalogue. It just means that you've got something that's matching. This will obviously not fit in there, but it will fit into a normal envelope, and it will go flat too. So I really do hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to leave me any nice comments, and a subscription would be fantastic. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.